advantage for him, the kind that you had, for 20 years in New England.
Yeah, I've always said continuity is the key in the NFL because there's so many situations that come up on a weekly basis. And for you to have the years of experience with the play caller to think, oh, this is exactly how we're going to handle this particular situation on the fly. So you don't have to wait till Monday to correct it. I think situational football is really important, and you can't cover 1,000 situations every week because you're just guessing at what the situation will be. But, at least when I was, in my past, I looked at those and said, hey, remember this in 2014, the same thing happened, it was 6 years later, you can't really do those things. So, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, all those things are really important. And, they won the division. They're a great football team, great coaches, great system, so many great players. Their defense is phenomenal, top 5 defense basically in every category. Great rush, great cover linebackers. They blitz well. A lot of continuity in the secondary. A lot of ball hawks in the secondary. They've been one of the top teams in the league for a long time, and they've had some tough playoff losses, that are real fluke plays. But other than that, there's not a lot of bad about this team. They're pretty spectacular.
We'll go over to James Palmer.
Tom, with the way you've worked with your receivers as this year's gone on, and Chris Godwin a little while ago alluded to us about you understanding maybe their body language a little bit, and him and those guys understanding your body language a little more without giving anything away, like pre-snap or that unspoken side of the connection, where is that now compared to the beginning of the year, all those little nuances that you look for?
Well, I think we've certainly come a long way. I think we're just going to keep improving. The more we're together, the more we're talking about football, the more we're trying to be on the same page, the better it is. So, it's a complex game. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of coordination involved between a lot of different positions. And I think the quarterback receiver relationship is really important. And, the more that I've been around Mike, Chris, Antonio, Scooter, Tyler, Mick, the better it gets. And, in the tight end position, I've been around Gronk for a long time. I know exactly what he's thinking, how he looks. It's, Cam's pretty easy guy to get up to speed with too. So we're just going to keep trying to make improvements. And we got a big test this weekend, one of the great teams in the NFL, and consistently been one of the great teams for a long time. And we're going to have to go play a great football game.
We'll go over to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Tom, I know your focus this week is on the game, but, this quarterback matchup is pretty special. And I'm just wondering, all the years that you've been doing this, how often do you kind of look over your shoulder and use that as motivation, looking at guys like Drew and see, that he's still doing it at such a high level? Like, has that been a push for you throughout your career?
He's a lot younger than me. I mean, he's 18 months older than me, so 18 months younger. 18 months ago, I felt pretty good. So I've got a little advanced age on him and experience, but I'm hanging in there. He's had a terrific year, and he's a great player. I've known him for a long time. Always had a great amount of respect for him, and going all the way back to his Purdue days. And my roommate, when I first got to the Patriots, was from Purdue and was really good friends with Drew. And always just kept up with them and got to know him somewhat well over the years, and just think so much of him as a person, as a player. And, I know what it takes to do what he's doing. He knows what it takes to do what I'm doing. And I think there's just a lot of mutual respect.
We'll go to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, in talking to Bruce about what has to change from the first 2 Saints games to this, he pointed to turnovers. Obviously, you guys have done such a good job to limit your mistakes and lower the amount of turnovers, especially in these last 4 or 5 games. How crucial is that for you and the entire offense on Sunday?
It's big for both teams. And, a turnover margin, out of all the stats, I think that one always speaks to wins and losses just about more than any other stat. So taking care of the football gives you maximize your ability to score. Taking the football away minimizes their ability to score. It's very difficult to score if you don't have the ball. If you give the ball away, gives them more chances to score. So when you play good teams, it always comes down to that. And, that's a big point of emphasis. Got to protect it in the passing game. And that responsibility obviously falls on the quarterback, but it falls on a lot of other people too. It falls on, all of us making a concerted effort to be on the same page in the passing game so we can play with anticipation, play with confidence. There's a lot of things that go into that. So, and then obviously in the running game, same thing, backs taking care of the ball, making sure there's no free runners at the back. So he has ability to protect himself and the football. And, hustling to the ball, which means if there's a ball knocked out, we got to be there to recover it. So it's more than just an individual thing. It's really a team thing. And that goes both ways on defense too. You need a lot of guys hustling to the ball in case the ball does get knocked off them. You have guys there